Well, hello. I want to wish all of our La Crosse residents well here. Joining me today to provide an update on information and plans and preparations related to the city's COVID-19 pandemic are our Fire Chief Ken Gilliam and our Police Chief Sean Coudron. One of the things I would like them to do, because there's been some information shared about the city going to our Emergency Operations Center, or our EOC, and people might not be familiar with what that actually means. So Chief Gilliam, if you wouldn't mind maybe just briefly explaining what that is for our residents and people who are not familiar with what an EOC is.
Certainly, thank you, Mayor. So an Emergency Operations Center is really a National Incident Management System, ICS language. The EOC is set up to help support incident management strategies. So as we looked at the situation that's currently taking place with the COVID-19 response, as well as predictions of flooding on the horizon, we really determined that our best chance of managing this well was to structure in an incident command system format. We elected to put myself, Mayor Cabot, and Chief Coudron in as a unified incident command to really treat the entire city, with all of our city facilities closing, a lot of the impacts on the community, that we would kind of get things managed and organize it from a total city viewpoint. The Emergency Operations Center is literally a group of people that are structured out into different areas of focus, where they are providing us incident management support, making sure we've got clear chains of communications out to our network of resources and partners and stakeholders in the community. So with that, from a fire and EMS perspective, while I've got the mic, I think certainly with the COVID-19 virus, looking at our response strategies, we are separating and trying to do social distancing as much as possible. We've split up some of our double fire company houses and are actually operating with fire apparatus out of 3 additional buildings in the city that we worked with area partners. So we've spread our crews out a little bit apart from each other to try and isolate that. We've also been working with our partners at both hospitals, Mayo and Gunderson, as well as Tri-State Ambulance, on EMS protocols, from the dispatching process to the response to who's making access into people's homes. Certainly, our people on the front lines are going to be coming in contact with people with the virus. We're making sure that they have adequate personal protective equipment, that we're making smart approaches to them, getting them to come outside of their homes if possible to address situations, and really limit our personnel's exposure so that we're not becoming a part of the problem. We've got a really great plan in place. I think we're starting to see some of the numbers tick up on COVID confirmed cases in the La Crosse County area, so I think we're ready to catch that problem if it continues to develop. Otherwise, business as usual. If you have an emergency, call 911. The fire department is fully staffed and up and running, and we will respond and take care of your emergency. That I'll turn it over to Chief Coudron.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. First, I want to take a moment to thank the La Crosse community for your patience and cooperation during this public health crisis. COVID-19 has affected all of our lives, and your support during this time is greatly appreciated. During this pandemic, the La Crosse Police Department is here to continue to provide protection and service to a very high level that you have come to expect. You may notice some differences as we respond to calls. We may wish to speak with you on the phone. We may ask you to step outside or step to meet us possibly outside of a building or a home. And we are also practicing those same social distancing practices that hopefully working with you will keep our community safe and healthy. During this time, we're also working closely with our local businesses to make sure that we are answering their questions and meeting their security needs. Recently, as Governor Evers issued his latest order, the police department has responded to complaints of non-essential businesses still maintaining operation. We're responding to these complaints on a case-by-case basis, working to educate business owners on safe public health practices and ultimately gaining voluntary compliance. We're working closely with the La Crosse County District Attorney's Office to accurately interpret the governor's orders and do what's best for the public health of our community. I ask the La Crosse community to stay strong during this unprecedented time, and we will definitely get through this. And we definitely thank you for your support. Mayor?
Thank you, both Chief Coudron and Chief Gilliam, for those updates. I would like to just go through a quick list of the various city services and provide updates. Before I do that, I do want to just a quick update. As of today, March 26th, we know that there are 12 cases of the COVID situation here in La Crosse County. One of those has recovered, which is good news. We are obviously encouraging all of our residents to stay safe at home and to comply with the governor's order and request for people to stay home. That's the safest place to be right now. I would echo the chief's message here as far as just thanking our community. I've noticed it myself that people are taking this very seriously, and I want to encourage all of our residents to continue to do that. We do have a lot of information on the city's website, so if you have ability to connect to www.cityoflacrosse.org, there's updates there all the time on city services and just other information. If you do have a question and you aren't sure which department to call, we also have our phone number set up, and that is 789-CITY or 789-2489 to call to leave a message, and we will get to that as quick as we can. So I do again appreciate all of our residents really taking this seriously and looking out for each other in this great time of uncertainty. So for a couple of just quick updates, our critical city services are still operating as normal as possible here with precautions taken for the COVID-19 virus. So there are a few minor changes. Our big issue right now is we are working very hard to make sure that there is a fair, accessible, and safe election. So in-person absentee voting is happening here with limited hours at City Hall. We really are encouraging our public to, if you're registered already, to go ahead and just request a ballot through the mail and to participate in this April 7th spring primary through the mail, if at all possible. The state has extended the deadline for people to register online until March 30th. So if you haven't registered yet, there is still time to register and then hopefully request that ballot via mail. The information, the best source is either calling our city clerk at 789-7510 or going to the myvote.wi.gov website. They have information on registration and all of that. As you heard from both our fire and police, those first responders are working, again, fully staffed and around the clock to respond to your emergencies. Our municipal court right now is closed until April 16th as a part of our court system. So that's in line with the fact that City Hall is still closed right now until April 16th. Our planning department is providing information and response and connections to the various small business relief and small business assistance programs that are being offered right now. Those are changing and updating kind of by the day. So please reach out to our planning department for more information. They are also working on gathering all of the resources and the great outpouring here in La Crosse of people offering support and meals and other essentials. And we'll have more information to share on that as we pull all that together. Our solid waste and recycling pickups are happening on their usual schedule. You may have noticed some street construction going on, and we are, again, taking precautions with our staff to practice social distancing and to keep everybody safe. But there is some needed utility and other street work that has to happen, and we are still working on that. Our water, sanitary sewer, storm sewer services are still operating as normal as possible with precautions for the COVID-19. Our MTU routes, we made a change this week. We are still providing service to the same routes, but we've gone to a 6-day-a-week service. That is going to allow us to just do the best job to keep our riders and our drivers as safe as possible, and will allow for some deep cleaning of the buses during that time of having that day not in service. So we're still offering hourly service. The MTU is free right now for rides, and we're asking people to only use it for essential travel. As I had mentioned earlier, our water and sewer service is as usual. We are following the PSC's order and are not charging anyone for any late fees. We understand that right now, with just all of the uncertainty and people out of work, that it's a challenge. So we're not going to be charging late fees, and we're not disconnecting any service either. Here at City Hall, I'd mentioned earlier that we are closed to the public, and that's until April 16th. We are still encouraging everyone for payments to make their payments either online, on the phone, or using the Dropbox here at City Hall. And again, if you have questions for departments or are looking for more information, our website is a source for those who might have questions. We have canceled all of our committee meetings for the rest of March and April, with a few exceptions. We are trying to balance keeping our critical city business moving forward, and that includes our services and ordinances and the like. So we are having a Board of Public Works meeting on March 30th. We are looking at how to do that via technology, and there'll be more information on that soon. And then our committees and common council meetings are all happening on April 9th. And the same, we are going to be practicing social distancing and being very safe and balancing our democratic values and public hearing with making sure that people are protected. A quick update, the city's warming center has been relocated to the Cathedral School. The daytime hospitality center will be closing soon, and the current warming center on 3rd Street is being used as an isolation center for our homeless citizens who may be showing symptoms related to the COVID-19. We are trying to work very closely with the organizers of the warming center, and to make sure, again, that our citizens are safe and that people have access to shelter if at all possible. As I had mentioned earlier, many of our agencies and nonprofits are working to provide meals, to provide essentials, to really just to check on one another, and I encourage people to continue to do that. As those programs develop, we'll share more information with you all. We do have a donation drop-off center at the Municipal Service Center on Marco Road here in the city, so if you are looking to make a donation of any type of protective equipment, we do have a drop-off there, and there are instructions at the Municipal Service Center of how to do that. Again, I just want to wish all of you well, good health and safety. It is encouraging that we are seeing people really taking this seriously, to just continue to follow the governor's orders to stay safe at home. If you have questions, please contact 789-CITY. Follow the updates on the city's website. And again, we can get through this together. We are a great community, and I want to just wish you all well. So thank you, and God bless.